Hey, welcome back, guys. My name is Anthony Chambers. I'm a real estate agent here in California, and on my channel I talk about most things that have to do with real estate. And today we're going to talk about a question that most sellers ask me when we're putting their home up for sale, and that is, what types of contingencies do buyers typically ask for through the home purchase transaction? So let's go ahead and get started. So wherever you are in the country, it might be a little different than the markets that I work in. But the markets that I work in, there's basically three typical contingencies that buyers ask for when they are submitting an offer for your home. And we're going to go ahead and go through that. So the first one is going to be the inspection contingency. And the next is the appraisal contingency. And lastly is the loan contingency. So we'll talk a little bit more in depth on those in a different video, but I'll just give you a light overview on what those are. So the first contingency, the inspection contingency, this is the most nerve-wracking for any seller, and that is basically the buyer has a certain amount of time to go into your house and perform all sorts of inspections. So a general inspection, a fireplace inspection, sewer line inspection, all these different things to see what could possibly be wrong with the home and what types of investment they're going to have to put into the home over the next couple of years. So that's the inspection contingency. The next is the appraisal contingency. So this is pretty close to the inspection contingency as far as being nerve-wracking. So usually if the buyer is going to be getting a loan on the home, which is most homes, the lender is going to request a third-party appraiser to come in, take a look at your home, and give a market snapshot of what they think the value of the home is during that time. And during that time, it's kind of a nail biter because there have been times where the appraisal comes in much lower than what the buyer asked for, but that's a whole nother video in itself. But that is the second contingency that buyers typically have in the markets here in California. And the last one is a loan contingency. So as the buyer usually submits a pre-approval when they're going to buy your house and when they're submitting an offer, that doesn't necessarily mean that something else can't happen along the way and the loan is declined. Sometimes a buyer is going to go out there and buy an expensive car and it's going to change their debt to income ratio. Or maybe they get a collection account and it changes their credit score during that 30-day escrow. There's a whole slew of things that can happen and have happened. So until that loan contingency is up, if the buyer is declined on the loan, they can also cancel on the transaction. So that's not something that's good, and that's definitely something we try to avoid. So those are the typical three contingencies that buyers have when they're submitting an offer to buy your home here in California. If you have a different experience or you have different contingencies in the markets that you work in, be sure to leave me a comment below. I'm kind of curious to hear that. So if you want more information on what contingencies you can expect and how to help avoid those or put that in your favor, leave me a comment below or get in touch with me in the description below. But I hope you found the video useful, and I hope that you subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching.